Hello, 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 hello. Okay, I'm currently reading a book by Peter Hollins titled Richard Feynman's Mental Models. And I haven't finished the book yet, but I think I found the perfect takeaway, even though I haven't finished it. And here it is. It's a very short sentence. Quote, is this way of thinking actually helping me understand the problem? Is this really useful? End of quote. Now, why do I think that an entire book can be summarized or can be distilled or is distilled with that simple sentence? I think everybody is, every time we're exposed to a certain situation in life, we always use our mental model. So, mental model is basically, it acts like a tool. It acts like a tool and a device that orients you in the universe. It brings you, it allows you to navigate where you are in the universe. For example, let's say you and I have a friend, and let's say his name is Richard, and Richard has a drinking situation where every time Richard drinks a glass of alcohol, his body would respond and make him feel dizzy, and it would make him feel very sick, and it would take him like 2 days to recover. So that's the situation. And if Richard uses one mental model. For example, he uses the or thinks that God is protecting him at the cellular level, and his body is so clean that it's exaggerating the negative effects of alcohol. Then he would definitely behave a certain way, and he may end up as a self-righteous man with by using a metaphysical and a high moral ground type of mental model. If he uses a different type of mental model where he thinks that he is very weak, his behavior then to would require him to like drink a massive amount of alcohol so that he could develop immunity and gain a stronger body. Then he ends up like he definitely ends up as a drunkard maybe. I'm merely pointing out that each mental model that we have or we're using based on the situation that we have will definitely bring you to a specific destination in life, and that's why it matters. That's why it matters to ask, that when every time you're faced with a situation, you ask again, the perfect takeaway from the book, which is this way of thinking actually helping me understand the problem? Is this really useful? Going back to Richard, assuming he ends up in a hospital, and then somebody takes some blood work on him and finds out that it's his liver is not responding like most people respond when exposed to alcohol. Then he ends up having a third destination, or yeah, because of that simple change in a way of thinking, a mental model. And why does it matter to have options? uh, let's take my industry for example. I do digital marketing, right? I manage marketing campaigns for other people, and in our industry, um, at this stage I'm considered an expert because of number of years that I have. And as an expert, quote unquote, as an expert, I come in bringing the experience and knowledge that I have with the other campaigns that I've managed. As an expert, I'm definitely bringing in one set of mental model, and that is to a certain degree dangerous, because most experts, they tend to I hope this part doesn't piss a lot of people, but most experts tend to have a very tunnel vision. And it's been said that if you have a hammer, every problem looks like a nail. And that's also what's happening in our industry. So every expert in digital marketing, every time they do work, and then the client ends up with the results that everybody is expecting, a very definite response is, oh, it's because of the expertise that we bring in. It definitely does help because there are levers and buttons you can twist and turn or manipulate so that you have, to a certain degree, control of the output. But thinking that or coming into a situation and thinking that you already know that you're an expert is very dangerous because again, you end up with a tunnel vision. You think that every problem is if you have a hammer, again going back to that hammer analogy, if you have a hammer, every problem is a nail. And imagine you being invited to operate on someone with your hammer. You end up killing that person, and then you just like blame the person, and then tell everyone that, well, you can't really save everyone. So that's the danger of thinking that you already know that you're an expert. And when facing a scenario. Now, how does this relate on a day-to-day level? I know you're definitely facing certain challenges in your life now. Uh, just be uh, cautious and evaluate the the mental model that you're currently using. And if you think it's going to bring you to a destination in life that you're not really comfortable with, maybe it's time to look for other mental models that may offer you options and may offer you a destination in life that is more suitable and is more to your liking. And that's easy to do. All you have to do is to just like expose yourself to different ideas. And that's it. Until next time. Ciao.